Hello, this is Nemesis with another review. This is Transformers The Last Knight Premier Edition Voyager class Optimus Prime. And that's a mouthful. And yeah, this is part of the new Last Knight line. And this is kind of like, I guess, the redo after the less than thrilling leader class from the Age of Extinction line. So yeah, this is the new Prime. You know, good old long nose cap. Semi. He rolls pretty well, although I noticed these wheels are a little, I think they're clipped on, and they are kind of tight, so they don't roll super well. If it's like a smooth surface, like I found this out with my desk, if it's a smooth surface, it tends to, wheels don't roll super well, but otherwise, if you have a rougher surface, it's fine, but I don't know. I'm not sure if it's different for other people's. It also comes with instructions. Again, a bit easier to read than the Titan's Return stuff, which I do like that a lot. It's a little easier to see what's going on, so that's a plus. And yeah, you can see right there is a shield thing is chilling out. It still makes me think of Mass Effect when I see it. And underneath his sword hangs out, and you can see a bunch of robot stuff. But yeah, it's the movie line. It looks like the semi from the movie. So again, yeah. And it's actually a nice little truck. I like it. I like this one a lot. I like this vehicle mode. The one thing I don't like is just kind of the wheels kind of stuck. But other than that, he looks good, in my opinion. So anyway, to transform him, you want to remove the shield thing, which does peg into a trailer hitch. So if a third party ever wants to make a trailer for him, real easy. And you remove the sword, which just slides in. By the way, you can slide it in this way, but then it kind of sits funny and doesn't roll very well, so I would not do that. Make sure it's pointing forward when you do so. But he does. The nice thing, he does roll with the sword and stuff in there, so that's good. Anyway, from there you want to take the roof here and just kind of pop it up on this arm and just kind of let it sit there for a bit. And then you take these panels on the side and just kind of untab them. They come out to the side on both sides and they fold backwards and tab in on themselves and just kind of sit here for a bit. And we'll get back to them in a tiny bit. Then from there, you want to take the front and kind of split it. And it's likely you're going to split the arms, which is fine. But you want to take this and kind of split them off from the hood and whatnot. And then from there, this whole side section, it tabs in back here, right here in there's little tabs right here on them that tabs in the legs. You want to untab it from both sides and just fold them both back like this. And I'm going to move the camera a little bit because they're going to be a little crazy. And from there, what I like to do is split these to help a lot. That helps a lot. And then move these back. You rotate them around like that to the bottom. And this one on mine gets a little caught sometimes and pops off the ball. It's a ball joint, so it comes on pretty easily. Goes back on pretty easily. And I like to rotate here. And then back here, what you do for this is you untab this and fold it all the way around this way. You don't fold it if you don't fold it this way. This slots in. You can't fold it that way. You have to rotate it around here. You can untab the foot, rotate it around, and it kind of comes in and tabs back in this way. And then you move this back like so. Rotate it back, and then rotate this piece, and then tab it in right here. There's a tab and a slot. You just do so like that, and that's one leg. And I know this one kind of is a little loose, so it kind of comes undone pretty easily. But from there, do the same thing on this side. Rotate that all the way around. Untab the foot. Rotate this inward like this. And also, by the way, rotation is easier if you go this way rather than try to go around, because otherwise you have to clear that, and that's a little annoying. So rotate outward. And then take this whole section and rotate it around and rotate it, and then tab it in. And then the legs are done, and then you just rotate both legs down at the hips like this, rotate the skirt down, and then rotate at the waist all the way around. Now from there, we're going to raise the camera up because he's a taller dude. Now from there, you want to take the arms, and if they haven't already been split them apart, and then take these little blue shoulder things and untab them. There's little tabs right here. Rotate them like forward like this, and then rotate the arms down like that, and they'll tab in on both sides. These tabs aren't the tightest, I've noticed. They have a tendency, if I'm like trying to move the arms, they'll have a tendency to just untab real easily, but that's a little bit of a problem. And then you take what was the hood and just move them on this little arm and tab them up here like this. Same on this side. Move them on this arm and then move it up and tab it up behind the forearm. And then from there, I like to take this this piece and move down. And these pieces, you want to make sure there's a gap between them, so this can come between. And there's these tabs right here, which will actually tab these tabs. Yeah, these tabs right here will tab into those slots right there on this. So you want to make sure there's enough of a clearance between, so that can all come down, it'll fit snug, and hold pretty well. Then from there, I'm gonna move this and take the head and move it up. And then take this chest piece and tab it in, nice and solid. Oops, see, that's what I mean. Those come out really easy. And then you take these pieces and rotate them upwards to that point. There's very little slots and tabs and stuff for these. It's hard to film, but don't worry, you'll see them if you have this figure. And you move them up and make sure they're 100% lined up. And there you go. And that is more or less Optimus in his robot mode. Just, there we go. That's better. And yeah, this is actually a really nice looking Optimus for the most part. Yeah, he's a bit of what I guess people call shell formers. I mean, a large chunk of his truck just kind of chills on his back and on his legs. But he's a lot better than what I saw of the Age of Extinction Leader Class 1, that's for sure. He looks pretty good. I like the nice silver paint all over. It's not great, mostly gray. I mean, there's dark gray plastic and light gray plastic, yes, right here and stuff. But he also has nice silver paint, which really brings out a lot of detail. I mean, this chest detail looks really, in particular, just looks really good. I mean, and the silver paint just helps make it pop in the nice metallic blues and reds and whatnot. It looks like a really good figure. And of course, he's got his weapons and stuff, his shield thing, which he can hold in his hands if you want, but he has little holes on the sides of his arms for those. So, but there's a shield, buckler shield, whatever you want to call it, and a sword, which just slides right into his arm or his hand like that, which looks good. And of course, there's also, you might have saw it in the truck mode, there's a little slot right here, which his sword can go into, and he can store it back there, which is really nice. Only thing is, I wish there was also a place back there for the shield tab thing, I don't know, make a hole in the roof. I understand not wanting, but I would not have minded if there's like a hole right here to fit it in, but what you gonna do, right? So anyway, yeah. Posability. His head can move side to side. It also move forward and back. It's a little limited. You can only do this far because of his collar, which is a little unfortunate. But I mean, so it's got decent stuff. He can tilt his head a little bit, like side to side too. So he does have decent posability, just kind of hampered by the general sculpt. Arms or shoulders move forward. They can't move back too far, or at least straight back too far because of the backpack. They can move outward, and the nice thing is these shoulder things also get out of the way pretty easily because they're on our own separate hinge. So you can, if you want, you can also have them like flared out if you want. But you saw that with this arm in particular likes to move forward, and you can use that a little bit as a posability joint. But eventually you'll get to a point where it starts unpopping the chest piece out. So just watch for that. So you can't use it for posability. I can't get him to, unfortunately, use both hands to hold the sword, which is disappointing, but not much you can do. But elbows, slightly more than 90 degrees, so there's actually pretty good range there. Unfortunately, no wrist articulation. That's a bit sad because I guess I didn't want to break up the sculpt here. That's disappointing, but what do you do? But hey, at least he has a waist. I'm noticing that's kind of tends to be the first thing on the chopping block anymore is waist. This is hampered by when the sword's in the sheath though, so just pay attention to that. But without the sword there, it's full 360 motion, Another thing is, on mine, the backpack tends to come untabbed sometimes if you're not careful. That's a little unfortunate. Sometimes. Hips, though. Forward, back, but again, backpack gets a little in the way. He's got thigh swivels. His knees only go this far. That's a big disappointment, but again, because of how it transforms, I can understand it, but it's still disappointing. No foot articulation, but they are sculpted for an A stance, so there's that. There's no real foot articulation. It's all basically one solid piece for the most part until you untransform it, in which case doesn't really help though for articulation. So yeah, a little disappointing, but what are you gonna do? Really, except complain on a video to several, I guess, 100 viewers or whatever. So yeah, he's a good figure. I actually really like this one. I was surprised. I wasn't sure about it, but then I kind of got it. I'm probably not gonna get super into the movie line overall. But I think this Optimus is actually pretty nice. So the thing is, he is $30 again, unless you find him cheaper elsewhere. I would highly suggest, if you can, try to get it cheaper. I mean, there's a good chance it'll be on clearance eventually, but $30 is asking a bit much in my opinion. I got him for $25, which is the standard Voyager price. So 30, you got to really make a value assessment yourself, but I think it's a little steep. Anyway, though, I got him for 25. I think it's worth it there. At 30, it's pushing it. It's a pretty nice figure. Get a little shell formery, but I can overlook that. But this has been Last Night Optimus, and I hope you learned what you needed to for an informed buying decision.